Now to this, President Trump has made no secret about his intentions to root out the Mexican drug cartels.
For decades, Mexican cartels have smuggled drugs, bribed officials, and unleashed brutal violence that spilled across borders. But recently, they crossed a line so severe that it forced Washington to act. What began as a local arrest in 2019 has now spiraled into a full-scale counterterrorism campaign involving elite U.S. military assets, stealth bombers, and armed drones. This is the story of how one city's 7-hour war triggered America's most aggressive crackdown yet. The day Culiacan became a war zone. On October 17, 2019, Mexican special forces launched a precision strike in the upscale Tres Rios district of Culiacan, the heart of Sinaloa state. Their mission: capture Ovidio Guzman Lopez, son of the infamous drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Within minutes, the elite GAF unit stormed Ovidio's safe house, subdued his guards, and took him into custody. For a brief moment, it seemed Mexico had struck a crippling blow to the Sinaloa Cartel. But within 30 minutes, hell broke loose. Through encrypted radios and secure phones, the cartel activated hundreds of sicarios, heavily armed enforcers trained for war. Over 700 gunmen poured into the streets, driving armored trucks equipped with mounted .50-caliber machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades. They set buses ablaze to block roads, rained bullets from rooftops, and turned Culiacan into an urban battlefield. Civilians ran for cover as explosions echoed across the city. Military convoys were ambushed, police checkpoints overrun, and neighborhoods cut off by burning barricades. For 7 straight hours, the Mexican army fought an enemy that looked less like a criminal gang and more like a private army. By late afternoon, the elite unit that had captured Ovidio was surrounded. Reinforcements couldn't break through. Commanders faced a grim choice: fight to the death, or risk mass civilian casualties. A government forced to surrender. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador received a chilling ultimatum. The cartel had seized hostages, including 8 soldiers, and threatened to execute them. If Ovidio wasn't released under immense pressure and fearing a massacre, the government backed down. Ovidio Guzman was freed. The decision sparked national outrage. Videos of blazing streets and terrified families spread worldwide. Critics accused the government of capitulating to organized crime. U.S. officials, alarmed by the cartel's power, called it proof that Mexico had lost control of parts of its own territory. According to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the Sinaloa Cartel at that time supplied nearly 98% of the fentanyl entering the United States, a synthetic opioid responsible for tens of thousands of overdose deaths annually. The Culiacan siege, later nicknamed El Culiacanazo, wasn't just a failed operation. It was a message. The cartels were now powerful enough to challenge the state itself. The technological cartel Ovidio represented a new breed of cartel leader: young, educated, and tech-savvy. He modernized the Sinaloa network, arming his forces not just with rifles but with encrypted phones, private radio frequencies, and digital surveillance tools. These systems allowed his men to jam military communications and coordinate attacks in real time. His fighters were organized into disciplined units, more like commandos than street gangs. Many were poor youths drawn in with money, status, and loyalty pledges. Under Ovidio, they trained with military-grade weapons and executed assaults with chilling efficiency. In many rural areas, the cartel even acted as a de facto government, providing jobs, money, and security in exchange for silence. Meanwhile, Ovidio managed billions in drug profits through shell companies, cryptocurrency, and small businesses used for laundering. His mix of technology and ruthlessness earned him the nickname El Raton, the mouse. Small but impossible to catch hugs, not bullets. A strategy backfires. When López Obrador took office in 2018, he promised a softer approach to Mexico's drug war. A philosophy summed up in his slogan, "Abrazos no balazos," hugs, no bullets, not bullets. Instead of launching raids, he invested in social programs, hoping to address poverty and reduce recruitment into criminal groups. But while well-intentioned, the plan created breathing room for cartels to regroup. With fewer direct confrontations, groups like Sinaloa expanded operations, upgraded their arsenals, and tightened territorial control. By 2019, Mexico's homicide rates had reached record highs, and the Culiacan disaster exposed the limits of nonviolence. The second capture. After years of intelligence gathering, Mexican forces, this time working closely with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and military, made their move again. On January 5, 2023, they launched Operation Black Aztec in Culiacan's Jesus Maria district. This time, Ovidio was caught by surprise. In a pre-dawn raid involving helicopters' armored vehicle,